1번. 다음 글의 제목으로 가장 적절한 것은?
Overprotective parents spare kids from all natural consequences. Unfortunately, their kids often lack a clear understanding of the reasons behind their parents' rules. They never learn how to bounce back from failure, or how to recover from mistakes because their parents prevented them from making poor choices. Rather than learning, I should wear a jacket because it's cold outside, a child may conclude. I have to wear a jacket because my mom makes me. Without an opportunity to experience real-world consequences, kids don't always understand why their parents make certain rules. Natural consequences prepare children for adulthood by helping them think about the potential consequences of their choices.
2번. 다음 글의 제목으로 가장 적절한 것은?
As the only species that can actually talk, Homo sapiens is the only one that can lie out loud. This capacity gave early human beings a major evolutionary edge. They'd already demonstrated their mastery of the deceptive arts by hunting prey with artfully hidden traps, or by tricking them into running off cliffs. As the human capacity to speak developed, so did our ability not only to trick prey and deceive predators but to lie to other humans. This too could be advantageous. Those who could persuade members of a rival tribe that a westward moving herd of caribou had migrated east won a battle in the war for survival. Verbal deceitfulness gave early humans such a survival advantage that some evolutionary biologists believe the capacity to speak and the ability to lie developed hand in hand.
3번. 다음 글의 제목으로 가장 적절한 것은?
It is said that among the Bantu peoples of Central Africa, when an individual from one tribe meets someone from a different group, they ask, "What do you dance?" Throughout time, communities have forged their identities through dance rituals that mark major events in the life of individuals, including birth, marriage, and death, as well as religious festivals and important points in the seasons. The social structure of many communities, from African tribes to Spanish gypsies, and to Scottish clans, gains much cohesion from the group activity of dancing. Historically, dance has been a strong, binding influence on community life, a means of expressing the social identity of the group, and participation allows individuals to demonstrate a belonging. As a consequence, in many regions of the world, there are as many types of dances as there are communities with distinct identities.
4번. 다음 글의 제목으로 가장 적절한 것은?
Think, for a moment, about something you bought that you never ended up using. An item of clothing you never ended up wearing? A book you never read? Some piece of electronic equipment that never even made it out of the box? It is estimated that Australians alone spend on average $10.8 billion AUD, approximately $9.99 billion United States dollars every year on goods. They do not use more than the total government spending on universities and roads. That is an average of $1,250 AUD, approximately $1,156 USD for each household. All the things we buy that then just sit there gathering dust are a waste of money. A waste of time, and waste in the sense of pure rubbish. As the author Clive Hamilton observes, the difference between the stuff we buy and what we use is waste.
5번. 다음 글의 제목으로 가장 적절한 것은?
Only a generation or two ago, mentioning the word algorithms would have drawn a blank from most people. Today, algorithms appear in every part of civilization. They are connected to everyday life. They're not just in your cell phone or your laptop, but in your car, your house, your appliances, and your toys. Your bank is a huge web of algorithms, with humans turning the switches here and there. Algorithms schedule flights and then fly the airplanes. Algorithms run factories, trade goods, and keep records. If every algorithm suddenly stopped working, it would be the end of the world as we know it.
6번. 다음 글의 제목으로 가장 적절한 것은?
Mammals tend to be less colorful than other animal groups, but zebras are strikingly dressed in black and white. What purpose do such high contrast patterns serve? The colors' roles aren't always obvious. The question of what zebras can gain from having stripes has puzzled scientists for more than a century. To try to solve this mystery, wildlife biologist Tim Caro spent more than a decade studying zebras in Tanzania. He ruled out theory after theory. Stripes don't keep them cool, stripes don't confuse predators before finding an answer. In 2013, he set up fly traps covered in zebra skin and, for comparison, others covered in antelope skin. He saw that flies seemed to avoid landing on the stripes. After more research, he concluded that stripes can literally save zebras from disease-carrying insects.
7번. 다음 글의 제목으로 가장 적절한 것은?
Benjamin Franklin once suggested that a newcomer to a neighborhood ask a new neighbor to do him or her a favor. Citing an old maxim, he that has once done you a kindness will be more ready to do you another than he whom you yourself have obliged. In Franklin's opinion, asking someone for something was the most useful and immediate invitation to social interaction. Such asking on the part of the newcomer provided the neighbor with an opportunity to show himself or herself as a good person at first encounter. It also meant that the latter could now ask the former for a favor in return, increasing the familiarity and trust. In that manner, both parties could overcome their natural hesitancy and mutual fear of the stranger.
8번. 다음 글의 제목으로 가장 적절한 것은?
In life, they say that too much of anything is not good for you. In fact, too much of certain things in life can kill you. For example, they say that water has no enemy, because water is essential to all life. But if you take in too much water, like one who is drowning, it could kill you. Education is the exception to this rule. You can never have too much education or knowledge. The reality is that most people will never have enough education in their lifetime. I am yet to find that one person who has been hurt in life by too much education. Rather, we see lots of casualties every day, worldwide, resulting from the lack of education. You must keep in mind that education is a long-term investment of time, money, and effort into humans.
9번. 다음 글의 제목으로 가장 적절한 것은?
The loss of many traditional jobs in everything from art to healthcare will partly be offset by the creation of new human jobs. Primary care doctors who focus on diagnosing known diseases and giving familiar treatments will probably be replaced by AI doctors. But precisely because of that, there will be much more money to pay human doctors and lab assistants to do groundbreaking research and develop new medicines or surgical procedures. AI might help create new human jobs in another way. Instead of humans competing with AI, they could focus on servicing and using AI. For example, the replacement of human pilots by drones has eliminated some jobs, but created many new opportunities in maintenance, remote control, data analysis, and cybersecurity.
10번. 다음 글의 제목으로 가장 적절한 것은?
Chewing leads to smaller particles for swallowing, and more exposed surface area for digestive enzymes to act on. In other words, it means the extraction of more fuel and raw materials from a mouthful of food. This is especially important for mammals, because they heat their bodies from within. Chewing gives mammals the energy needed to be active not only during the day, but also the cool night, and to live in colder climates or places with changing temperatures. It allows them to sustain higher levels of activity and travel speeds to cover larger distances, avoid predators, capture prey, and make and care for their young. Mammals are able to live in an incredible variety of habitats, from Arctic tundra to Antarctic pack ice, deep open waters to high-altitude mountaintops, and rainforests to deserts, in no small measure because of their teeth.
11번. 다음 글의 제목으로 가장 적절한 것은?
When people think about the development of cities, rarely do they consider the critical role of vertical transportation. In fact, each day, more than 7 billion elevator journeys are taken in tall buildings all over the world. Efficient vertical transportation can expand our ability to build taller and taller skyscrapers. Anthony Wood, a professor of architecture at the Illinois Institute of Technology, explains that advances in elevators over the past 20 years are probably the greatest advances we have seen in tall buildings. For example, elevators in the Jeddah Tower in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, under construction, will reach a height record of 660 meters.
12번. 다음 글의 제목으로 가장 적절한 것은?
Many people make a mistake of only operating along the safe zones, and in the process they miss the opportunity to achieve greater things. They do so because of a fear of the unknown, and a fear of treading the unknown paths of life. Those that are brave enough to take those roads less traveled are able to get great returns and derive major satisfaction out of their courageous moves. Being overcautious will mean that you will miss attaining the greatest levels of your potential. You must learn to take those chances that many people around you will not take. Because your success will flow from those bold decisions that you will take along the way.